Hi everyone, my name's HalfDork. Today, I'm going to show you how to jump into the Sandbox Alpha with very little steps involved. We're also going to take a look at how to get into the Game Maker, where you can build your own experiences within the sandbox, and I'm going to show you how to get started with VoxEdit, where you can build your own NFTs to bring them into the Sandbox Game Maker, or publish them for others to use in their own experiences. So, let's get started. So here we are at sandbox.game. So let's go ahead and create an account. But you have several options here. If you have a MetaMask account, I highly recommend signing up through there. But if you're a first-time user of the sandbox, let's go ahead and make a social account. Today, I'm going to be using my Google account, and we're going to be using a service called Venly. Venly is a free-to-use cryptocurrency wallet that is partnered with the sandbox as well as the Polygon blockchain, so it's a great way to get started in the space, as well as start accumulating NFTs. Venly published a short article about their partnership with Sandbox where you can learn a little bit more about the tokens and how they interact in the blockchain. I'll link that below. And now it's going to prompt me to make a Venly account. So let's go ahead and accept. And then you'll go through the process of creating the wallet. Go ahead and input a PIN number, 4 to 6 digits. Make sure it's the same one. And great, we've just created a free wallet with Venly. Last thing you'll do is make a username and a password. Great, so now that you've made a username and password, you'll click up here at the top right to download the alpha. Go ahead and click your operating system, download and install. You'll save that file to your computer, open it up. Go ahead and click through the sandbox setup, and you'll probably want to keep it in the default destination folder. And when it's done, go ahead and click finish, and it'll open up the alpha. Then you can just type in your username and password. Make sure to check remember me unless you're on a public computer. Click login. It's going to drop you in the alpha lobby where you can finally get started on some quests and earn some raffle tickets so you can earn yourself an alpha pass by the end of the month. When you're finally in game, you can type /instances if you wanted to change the server room. And if I wanted to join a particular instance, I would type /join and then the 5-digit number, so 21004. So the last things we should cover before we leave the alpha is if you hold down T, you can bring up the emote wheel, pick a favorite dance, and you can also open up the map down here at the bottom right. So if you hit O for options, or if you click down here, you'll be able to click map, which is the dashboard, and after a prompt, it'll send you directly to wherever your web browser is, and you'll be able to click an interactive map in the alpha. So let's say I wanted to go to the way to Zalia. I can click on it in this map and then click play. And it's going to ask me back here in Sandbox if I'd like to travel there. Perfect. If you'd like to see more tutorials like this one, please like and subscribe. Great, so now that you're in the alpha, let's see how you can start making your own things in the sandbox. If you go to the create section here on the main page, it's going to take you directly to the Game Maker download. So if you click download here, you'll get a prompt. You can pick your operating system. Unfortunately, Mac isn't out quite yet. So when you download the Game Maker, you're going to get a zip file. So go ahead and unzip that with whatever software you have. They're going to give you an exe file. Go ahead and walk through that setup process. I'm not going to install it because I already have it on my machine. And go ahead and load it up when it's finally installed. You'll find yourself on a similar login page. Go ahead and input your name and password and click that remember me unless you're on a shared computer. Click login. And so this is the first page you'll be greeted with. So a couple of things. You'll have your drafts. So if you start creating something, as you see here, I've created several. So before we create new, let's go ahead and explore the other things in the Game Maker. Well, you have templates. This is a great place to start if you're still learning the sandbox and how things interact with each other, the logic of the system, so to speak. So if you click through all of these pages, you'll see various tutorials on quests, collisions, and even behaviors. You can see how enemies might try and target the player and attack you, or even the puzzles that you might find in some of the games in the alpha. Each of these templates is a wealth of knowledge that you can break down and understand. This last section is the drafts gallery, where you can browse user-submitted content in order of recently created. There's quite a few pages, but a friend of ours, GameDizzy, had created a dashboard where you can search and find things by their name. Shout out to GameDizzy and TomVoxel for creating this user dashboard so that we can find our games faster. And before you leave the drafts gallery, you'll want to click in the featured experiences here on the top left. By doing so, you'll see whichever social hubs are available for you to join and play with your friends. Generally, these are rotated out, but highly recommend both the Samhelm Social Helm and Sandstorm Meetup, where they have community activities on a regular basis. Check them out. So, when you're ready to start creating, you can click this Create New button, and you'll be able to name your experience. So this will be the HalfDork Home Base. And I highly recommend picking a theme. Empty is a great place to start if you know what you want, but if you want ideas and inspiration, I'd start with one of these, like the lake, the desert, a nether, a meadow, Antarctica, or jungle islands. My personal favorite, the jungle islands. And before you click create, you can select how big you want the land to be. If you're new here, I would recommend a 1x1, just because it's much larger than you think. Great, so this is the Game Maker. We're going to browse this in another video, but it gives you a good idea of all the tools that are at your disposal for creating cool content. So the last software we're going to look at today is VoxEdit. So let's click over to the VoxEdit tab on the Create section of the sandbox.game website. We'll click the download button, which will give us the option of either downloading Windows or for Mac OS. Because I'm Windows, I'll go ahead and click download. You'll get another zip file. Go ahead and right click and unarchive it. So when you unzip this file, it's going to have a little bit of a different structure to it. This software, VoxEdit, will actually operate on its own without installing. So what I recommend is you make a new folder for all of these files to be housed in somewhere that's easy to locate. I highly recommend the program files on your computer. Other options might be your downloads or your pictures, and you'd paste them there. And so once those are pasted, you can open it up. So now that you're ready to go, you finally installed the alpha, Game Maker, and VoxEdit. You can play around with this great software used to create cool NFTs and assets that you can use in your own games. My name's Halfdork. You can also catch me live over on Twitch, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to making more tutorials like this, and I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, and or evening. See ya!